Hey blues fans, glad you made it. Welcome to another episode of This Week in the Blues. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen with the blues band Big Train and the Locomotives. And this is our weekly take on blues history. Blues guitar and mandolin player Papa Charlie McCoy was born May 26, 1909. He was one of the major blues accompanists of his time. Now, McCoy played in the Mississippi area with his band, the Mississippi Hotfooters. He and his older brother, Kansas Joe McCoy, performed together in the 1930s and 1940s and recorded as the McCoy Brothers. McCoy served in the U.S. Army during World War II. Now, in poor health after the war, he never really returned to music, and he made no more recordings after 1942. Among his scattered solo sessions is the first known recorded rendition of the song that eventually became Sweet Home Chicago. Blues diva Mamie Smith was born May 26 in 1891 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, in 1920, she entered blues history as the first African-American artist to make vocal blues recordings. When she was around 10 years old, she found work touring with a white act. In 1913, she started to sing in clubs in Harlem. On February 14th in 1920, Smith recorded That Thing Called Love and You Can't Keep a Good Man Down for the OK label in New York City. Although this was the first recording by a black blues singer, the backing musicians were all white. The record was a commercial success and opened the door for more black musicians to record. Here's a little Delta blues history for you. Abbey and Leatherman, one of the oldest and largest cotton plantations in the Delta, is known to music lovers worldwide as a boyhood home of blues icon Robert Johnson. At its peak, more than 450 families lived and worked on Abbey and Leatherman. Now, Johnson lived here with his family in a tenant shack by the levee during the 1920s. The powerful and impassioned recordings he made in 1936 and 1937 are often cited as a foundation of rock and roll, and the facts and fantasies and mysteries of his life and death are a continuing source of intrigue. The blues standard Walkin Blues was recorded in Grafton, Wisconsin on May 28th in 1930 by Son House, who was also the songwriter. Although unissued at the time, it was part of House's repertoire, and other musicians, including Robert Johnson and Muddy Waters, adapted the song and recorded their own versions. Blues violin player Papa John Creech was born May 28th in 1917. In addition to blues, he also played classical, jazz, R&B, pop, and acid rock. Now, moving to Los Angeles in 1945, he played in the Chi-Chi Club, worked on an ocean liner for 5 years, appeared in several films, eventually worked with the likes of Louis Armstrong, Fats Waller, Charlie Christian, Big Joe Turner, T-Bone Walker, and Nat King Cole. Later on, he fronted a variety of bands, in addition to playing with Jefferson Airplane, Hot Tuna, Jefferson Starship, the Grateful Dead, and the Charlie Daniels Band. Jump blues pioneer and innovator T-Bone Walker was born May 28th back in 1910. In fact, modern electric blues guitar can be traced directly back to this Texas-born pioneer, who began amplifying his playing around 1940. Walker began his career as a teenager in Dallas in the 1920s. His mother and stepfather were both musicians, and Blind Lemon Jefferson, a family friend, sometimes came over for dinner. Imagine that. B.B. King cited hearing Walker's recording of Stormy Monday as his inspiration for getting an electric guitar. In 2018, Rolling Stone magazine ranked him number 37 on its list of 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Blues keyboard maestro Ron Levy was born May 29, 1951. Levy was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and began playing the piano after seeing Ray Charles in concert at the age of 13. He later switched to playing a Hammond organ. After gaining experience playing in Boston nightclubs, Levy was hired by Albert King in 1968. After an 18-month association, Levy joined B.B. King's backing band. Lazy Bill Lucas was born May 29th in 1918. He was part of the birth of the Chicago blues scene during the 1940s and 50s and then early 1960s. Born to sharecroppers in Wynne, Arkansas, Lucas's family worked their way north to Chicago in the early 40s. For several years, Lucas played in various blues combos and in various clubs and bars and street settings. In 1950, Lucas switched from guitar to piano and worked as a sideman for various blues bands. Relocating to Minneapolis brought more performing opportunities, and in 1979, Lucas started hosting his own regular radio show, becoming an important part of that city's blues history. Blues and soul singer King Ernest Baker was born May 30th, 1939 in Natchez, Mississippi. He recorded I Feel Alright and That's When I Woke Up. Blues singer Bobby Bland is a first cousin of King Ernest. His first professional outing was in 1958 with Byther Smith at Wynn's Lounge in Chicago, Illinois. Baker credited Smith with giving him his start as a professional musician. Now, Baker died in a car crash in 2000, just after finishing recording an album. Okay, here's a little info about the early years of Howlin' Wolf, also known as Chester Burnett. In 1930, Burnett played with Charlie Patton, one of the most popular bluesmen in the Mississippi Delta at the time. He would listen to Patton play nightly from outside a nearby juke joint. The two got to know each other, and soon Patton was teaching him guitar. Burnett recalled that the first piece I ever played in my life was a tune about a hook up my pony and saddle my black mare, which was Patton's Pony Blues. Here's a new section that I'm doing on new blues releases. Now, Alligator Records has a recent release from Baton Rouge-based blues singer Jovan Webb. After a quick listen, I have to agree with the following assessment. Listening to him is what barbecue sauce sounds like. I love what I've listened to so far, so go out and give it a shot. Well, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or the other things that happened this week in the blues, be sure to follow our social media pages or visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a new episode next week, and we'll cover blues guitarist Memphis Minnie and blues keyboard player Lafayette Leaks. We'll see you then.